Welcome to lesson 2.2. So we're going to start today. Before I start, make sure you have a few things. Make sure you have a pencil or a pen. Make sure that you have your math workbook. You need your math workbook. Make sure that you have your mind ready to do the things in your workbook along with me and to work on your own on a few things. Make sure you're ready to go. So we're going to start today with our mental math fluency. So I'm going to give you a number. You're going to have to write it. Give me a number where the 5 is worth 50. 53. Super easy. That 5 is worth 50. This is a review from yesterday. Give me a number that is 10 times as much. 10 times as much. That means the whole digit moves to the left one place value spot. Or you add a 0 at the end. 10 times as much. 530. Okay? Give me a number in which the 8 is worth 800. 821. Now give me a number where the 8 is worth 1/10 as much. So you're moving that 8 to the right one spot. So my 8 turns to here, and I could say my number 82. So I went from 800 to 82, 1/10 as much. When I say 10 times as much or 1/10 as much, again, this is a review from yesterday. It just means moving that number in the place value chart to the next digit, the next column, okay? Give me a number to which the 7 is worth 7,000. So I'm going to say 7,429. Now, write a number in which the 7 is worth 100 times as much. So think about that. 10 times as much is one spot. 100 times as much is two spots. So 7 would go from the thousands column. It would go not here, but it would go here. My 7 would move here. Okay, so 100 times as much means I go 2 spaces because that's 10 and that's 100. Okay, so 721,463. That is 100 times as much. So you're going to be doing a few of these today, and we're going to be working on some of these today. So we've talked about how we have feet squared, cubic inches, and all that stuff. And we've talked a little bit about exponents. So you've seen it before like this, right? Well, this little square basically means that little exponent means whatever this number is, I'm going to multiply by itself. So 10 squared means 10 times 10, and that equals 100. Now, there are some tricks with this. The first trick I'm going to show you. Notice my number is a 2, right? How many 10s do I have? 2. Second trick. Notice my number is a 2. How many zeros are in my final answer? That's a trick we're going to work on today. All right, so I want you to think about the number 10 to the 5th power. So again, this is called an exponent. That means that this exponent means I'm going to do 10 times itself 5 times. So 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And my answer is going to be 100,000. So 10 times 10 is 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. That's how I got my final answer. So I'm going to write the number 100,000 up here. Look at my trick. How many zeros do you notice? The same as your exponent. So that's going to be what we're going to be working on today. So the exponent is going to be what we're working on is called exponential form or base powers of 10. So exponential form just basically means it's the number of zeros at the end. This can be used all the time in science, computer coding. Sometimes if you do different things with medicine and things like that, this is going to help you. Same thing with when we were doing conversions, when we were doing King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. When we were converting that way, sometimes it's easier just to put times 10 to the third power. Okay, so we're going to practice using this. This is something that you could use on a daily basis, especially if you get into like I said, a medical field, a field where you work with computers a lot, sometimes some of the data and analytics, some of the money fields, you're going to use this quite a bit. So keep that in mind. So exponential form is what we're going to work for. Exponential form is when you use powers of 10 to write expanded form. So if you remember our lesson yesterday, we were taking numbers and we were writing them in expanded form. And I told you there were 3 ways to do it. I showed you 2 yesterday, and this is the 3rd way. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through it, and we're going to talk a little bit about how it's done. So first thing that you're going to do is we're going to go through a little bit, and I'm going to give you a little sneak peek just with my whiteboard. So if you want to write this down, this is important, just so you know. If I want something in exponential form, this is how you do it. Okay, so on my whiteboard, I'm going to give you a number that we might have done yesterday. So let's say we have 6,241. Remember, one of the ways I told you was to do 6 times 1,000 plus 2 times 100 plus 4 times 10 plus 1 times 1, right? Exponential form basically means instead of writing the number 1,000, you're going to rewrite this as 6 times 10 to the third because there are 3 zeros. 2 times 10 to the second. 4 times 10 to the first. 1 times 10 to the 0. That's a little sneak peek of what we're going to be doing today. Exponential form is taking what you've already done, we've done this, and rewriting it a little different way. Okay. Now let's go to our math workbook. So we're going to start today with page 41. So on page 41, I'm going to look at my first exponential form. We have 10 to the 6th power. That means that I have 6 tens. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It also means that I have 6 zeros. So if you count your zeros, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros, right? So those are your little tricks. I want you guys to do 10 to the 5th power. I did it on the whiteboard. We're going to go ahead and do it here. We're going to do 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to write my number. I write my 1, and I have 5 zeros. Oops, I shouldn't have put that comma there. These are my favorite pens because they erase. There we go. All right, how about we do, oh, this is a tricky one. 10 to the 8th. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's easier for me to go ahead and just write the tens out so I know that I have enough. And now I need 8 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. All right, what you're going to do is you're going to do this one on your own. So I'm going to have a little box, and this is going to be included on our chart for today, and you're going to do 10 to the third. So you need to tell me what is the product of tens and what is the standard notation. So this one will be in your slides for the day. Okay? Let's go ahead and move on to the next problem. So 3 times 10 to the second is the same thing as 3 times 100, and that is equal to 300. 7 times 10 to the 9 is the same thing as 7 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 as a billion. So if I do 7 times a 1 is 7, and then I just add my zeros. There you go. All right, 3 times 10 to the fourth is the same as 3 times 10,000, because 10 to the fourth is the same thing as 10,000. 3 times 10,000 is 30,000. All right, I'm going to have you do number 4 also in the math boxes, or I'm sorry, in the slides. Make sure you work on number 4 on your own. Number 5, we're going to look at this. First thing, I know it's going to be 93 because that's my number here. 93 times 10, and now I need to find my exponent. The easiest way, the trick way that we know is we're going to count our zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 10 to the 6th. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's how you do that question. Number 6. The numbers in problem 1 through 5 are the answers to the following questions. Fill in the blank with your best guess. Write your answer in exponential or standard notation. So you could write this in any form you want. So the distance from from the sun to the earth. The distance from the sun to the earth. So we're going to use number 1 through 5 to answer these questions. The distance from the sun to the earth is about 93 million miles. That's a long way. It's about 93 million miles. All right, the Statue of Liberty is about how many feet tall? Does it make sense that it's 7 billion feet tall? 30,000 feet tall? 25,000 feet tall? Or 300 feet tall? Your answer should be 300 feet tall. In 2014, the population of Earth was about how many people? About how many people lived on Earth? So we used number 1. We used number 5. So we only have 3 to choose from. Does it make sense that there were only 30,000 people, 25,000 people, or 7 billion people for the whole Earth? 7 billion. So I'm going to do 7 times 10 to the 9th. It's easier for me to write. I don't have to write all those zeros. Look at the amount of room that this number took out and the amount of room that this number took out. Right? All right, if you walk around the Earth's equator, you would walk about how many miles? So I use that one. Would we walk about 30,000 miles or about 25,000 miles? About 30,000 miles or 25,000 miles? It will be 25,000 miles. And that means there's only one left. So Mount Everest, the highest mountain on Earth, is 30,000 feet high. 30,000 feet high. So that is this problem. Again, I'm going to have you do 2 of these problems on your math, on your assignment today. Make sure you're getting those slides done. Okay? Great. Now let's go on. We're going to talk about expanded form using those powers of 10. So looking at this example, so my number 4 is in the ones column. So that could be 4 times 1, or 4 times 10 to the 0. Remember I told you there are 3 different ways to write this problem out? This shows you all 3. My 8 could be written as 80, could be written as 8 times 10, or 8 times 10 to the first. My 7 could be written as 700, 7 times 100, or 7 times 10 to the second. And my third is 2, could be written as 2,000, 2 times 1,000, or 2 times 10 to the third. So this number can be written so many different ways, it's ridiculous. So it can be written as an addition expression. So this is the first way that I showed you yesterday. Remember, they do it a little backwards. They start with the biggest number. I start with the smallest number, but it's still the same numbers. The sums, so 2 times 1,000, 7 times 100, 8 times 10, 4 times 1. We did that one yesterday. This is the new one. So 2 times 1,000 is the same thing as 2 times 10 to the third. 7 times 100 is the same thing as 7 times 10 to the second. 8 times 10 to the first, 4 times 10 to the 0. The reason why it's 4 times 10 to the 0 power is because there's 0 zeros. It's not 10 anymore. It makes it 1. Okay? All right, so now we are going to write the number 6,125 in expanded form as an addition expression. Remember, I do it the trick way. I do it a little bit backwards, but it does not matter. It is okay to do it that way. It doesn't matter which way you do it. Okay, so I'm going to show you writing it the backwards way and the forward way because it doesn't matter. So the backward way, I'm going to write the number 5 plus 20 plus 100 plus 6,000. That is the backward way. That is how I write it. Option number 2, you can start with this number, and I literally read the number out loud. 6,125. 6,125. So if you say the number out loud and write what your mouth is saying, write what words come out of your mouth, it's going to put them in order for you. Okay? Awesome. So these are the 2 ways to write it in addition expression. Now let's talk about expanded form as the sum as multiplication using the powers of 10. So involving the powers of 10 are the ones where you say 1,000. Okay? So we're going to do 6 times 1,000 plus 1 times 100 plus 2 times 20 plus 5 times 1. So those should be a review because we've done those before. We did those yesterday. I'm trying to get my pen, sorry. We did those yesterday. That should be a review. So now we're going to write it the new way. So I'm going to use this way to help me. I know it's going to be 6 times 10 to which power? If you're saying 10 to the third, you are correct. Plus 1 times 10 to the second plus 2 times 10 to the first plus 5 times 10 to the 0. Those are the ways that you do expanded form. Now, write each number in standard notation. So this is where it's going to give you expanded form, or it's going to give you the exponential form, and you have to write it. So 12 times 10 to the 5th. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write my zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1 times 12 is 12. That's how you do this problem. 4 times 10 to the 8th. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Commas after every 3. 40 million. And now I have to write it in exponential form. I want to see if you can do these problems. You're going to do 3b for your slides. So 3a, the way that I would do that is 3 times 10. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the 4th. I want you to do number B on your own, and you're going to insert that into the slide. Okay, we're going to work on some more area and volume problems, real world volume problems. So how many of you have ever moved before? And so if your family's ever moved or had to go from an apartment to the house to an apartment, maybe you've moved from house to house, maybe you've not moved yourself, but you've helped friends and family move. One of the things that you can do is you can actually get a storage unit. And a storage unit is kind of cool because you can put all of your things in there and away for a little bit for some amount of time and then get it back out. So the good thing, and I've actually had to use this before when I was getting my carpets cleaned. It was easier for me just to make sure, because I was getting new carpet, just to put everything in storage for a month, get new carpet, get everything in there, and then get all my furniture back out. It was just an easier way to do it than trying to work around all the furniture. So a storage unit can be used, and they're all different sizes. So this is a real world problem. Finding the volume, figuring out how much of your stuff can fit into a storage unit. So we're going to go through this. So first of all, your formula. This one is super easy because I know I have a length, a width, and a height. So my formula is going to be 5 times 60 times 6 times 8. Same thing here, a length, a width, and a height. 9 times 4 times 7. Same thing here, length, width, and height. 5 times 5 times 6. These are super easy. I can find my volume formula rather quickly. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do the math. So 6 times 5, as I know, is 30, times 8. 8 times 0 is 0. 8 times 3 is 24. So 240 cubic feet. Nine times 4 is 36, times 7. 7 times 6 is 42, carry my 4. 7 times 3 is 21, plus 4 is 25. So 252. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go down to this one. 5 times 5 is 25, times 6. 6 times 5 is 30. Carry my 3. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 3 is 15. 12 plus 3 is 15. So 150 feet cubed. And finally, I have a tricky one. You guys know how to do this. We did this last unit. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to cut it this. I'm going to cut it this way. If I cut it this way, that means I don't need this measurement anymore because I have it cut. That measurement's now gone. That means this side is 4 and this side is 4. Okay? It also means I don't need this measurement because I made it longer. So now I should know the measurements that I need. 4 feet by 3 feet by 6 feet. So 4 times 3 times 6. This one should be 9 times 6 times 4. Those are my two volumes. So again, you did this on your test. We did this all last unit. You should know how to do this. 9 times 6 times 4 plus 4 times 3 times 6 You need to add the two numbers, not multiply. That was a common mistake that a lot of people did. So find this volume by multiplying, find this volume by multiplying, add them together. Some people didn't do that. All right, 4 times 4 is 12 times 6. 12, carry my 1, 6, 72. 9 times 6 is 54 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16, carry my 1, 21. So 216 plus 72, 882. Your answer should be 288 cubic feet. So the problem says, write the formula you use and show your work. Done. Circle the storage unit you think they should rent. So which one do you think they should rent? Which one has more space? They should rent that one. It does have more space. There are some that are close, but that one is definitely the biggest. Okay? All right, finally, math boxes. Math boxes for today. Again, I'm going to go through some of them with you because I want to show you how to do these problems. So first of all, order of operations. Again, this is a review. We did it all last unit. On the math test, some of you missed simple questions because you didn't follow order of operations. Make sure you go step by step. So 24 divided by 8 is first because it's in the parentheses. That is 3 times 4 is 12. Parentheses first. 15 divided by 3 plus 4. Parentheses first, so I start with my inside parentheses first. 6 plus 4 times 3 plus 6. And number D, 10 divided by 2. So if I have 10 cookies divided by 2 people, plus 5 times 4. I gave you one answer. I did not give you the other ones. However, with me going through it slow with you, you should be able to get them. Number 2, write a 4-digit number. I'm going to move this down a little bit because I know I'm kind of like... There, is that better? Perfect. Write a 4-digit number with a 4 in the hundreds place. The first thing I do is I write my ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. So a 4 is in the hundreds place. 8 is in the thousands place. 3 is in the ones place. 7 is in the tens place. Done. Number 3, write 23,436 in expanded form. I am going to write them 2 separate ways. I'm going to write my easy way, and I am going to write exponential. Pick one. Pause now and try your own first before I do it. I want you to really try. This is one of those times where if you pause and try it on your own and then check me, it can make sure that I don't make a mistake, and it can make sure that you learn. Did you pause? All right, hopefully you did. Here we go. I'm going to start with that 6 because that's easier for me. 30, 400, 3,000, 20,000. All right, I did it my way. Now I'm going to write it exponential. 20,000, so 2 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 to the 4th. 3 times 10 to the 3rd. 4 4 times 10 to the second. 3 times 10 to the first. 6 times 10 to the 0. Make sure that you have parentheses around the multiplication problems. I will take either of those ways. Number 4, find the volume of the prism using the volume equals length times width times height. So what is my length going across? What is my width? And what is my height? Multiply them. All right, exponential form, 10 to the third. 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth. 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let me check again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 to the 9th. Now, when you're writing the exponents, the way you write the exponents in the computer is very different. What you're going to write is you're going to actually write it like this. You're going to write the number 8, or let's do 10 to the 5th. You're going to write the 10, and then you're going to write a caret. So a caret is like the little arrow that points up. If you're looking at your keyboard, it is actually right above the 6. So you hit Shift 6 in order to get that symbol. And then you write your exponent. So this is the same as 10 to the 5th. Because you are home, it is harder to show the exponent. That is how I want you to do it. So 10 to the 9th. 10 caret 9. That's how it should look. That's how you make an exponent the way that I want you to make an exponent. Okay. Finally, Jonah's sister is 10 years old. Jonah is 8 years younger than twice his sister's age. Write an expression for Jonah's age. So 8 years younger than twice. So I have to find twice first. So 10 times 2 minus 8. 10 times 2 minus 8. This is also going to be on your answer sheet. Make sure that you have the right answer. Please take your time today. Please ask if you have any questions. Don't forget, my Zooms are happening every single day. You need to come to my Zoom and you need to ask questions if something is difficult. You need to come to my Zoom and at least check in. You need to log in and come check out the Zoom daily. Period. Thanks. All right. Your keyword for today, I am doing it at the end to see who knows. Your keyword for today is going to be pizza. Pizza, P-I-Z-Z-A. So I'm going to ask you for your keyword on the slides. Make sure you have it filled out. Your keyword is pizza. All right. Have a great day, guys.